The 13th meeting of the Federal Executive Council is eventually holding after its earlier postponement in honor of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja Kupastan. But then, there are some national issues that cannot wait any longer. It is barely 7 weeks to the end of the year. So, consideration and preparation for the next fiscal year topped the agenda of the meeting.
Good afternoon, gentlemen of the press.
After deliberations, Information and National Orientation Minister Mohammed Idris led the relevant ministers to brief on the outcomes as the Council reviewed implementation of the 2024 budget and reported a promising progress in revenue collection. And banking on the positive growth in 2 consecutive quarters of the outgoing year, the Council expresses satisfaction with economic recovery, believing that the worst situation has passed.
Nigeria's economy has turned in the right direction, achieving a positive growth rate in 2 quarters continuously, significantly, with the growth rate of 3.19% in real terms in the second quarter of 2024.
There is now hope for a much stronger economy in 2025, and in preparation for that is a 47.9 trillion naira budget estimate to further tackle inflation, strengthen economic resilience, support the vulnerable, and build fiscal buffers.
Parameters for the 2025-2027 medium-term fiscal framework, which include an oil price benchmark of $75 a barrel for 2025, oil production of 2.06 million barrels a day, as well as an exchange rate of 1,400 naira to a dollar, and GDP growth of 4.6%. It is expected that for 2025, the federal government's budget estimate is the aggregate expenditure is estimated at 47 trillion, and this includes a borrowing of 13.8 trillion, which is 3.87% of the estimated GDP.
The chances of meeting up with the January to December budget cycle are almost looking very slim, but the executive says it relies on its healthy relationship with the National Assembly as well as the groundwork already done to get the budget passed and keep to the tradition. Meanwhile, Ministry of Finance secured 2 approvals, one of which is a 250 billion naira real estate investment funding to check the housing deficit in the country through a low-cost long-term housing scheme.
It opens up the whole mortgage sector. It relieves Nigerians who normally will be faced with almost 30% interest rates, and they will be faced with tenors of 2, 3, 4 years within which they have to pay back. Now they will have rates closer to 10%. Now they will have tenors over 20 years. And that will be a tremendous relief, and is a promise kept by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.